How's it going, guys? It's Harrison. We're back, and you can see someone who you've seen on my TikTok semi recently, a few weeks ago. Um, Although he's not wearing the same attire, it is for those who don't know the person I interviewed as Homelander. But I'll let him introduce yourself. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm well, not so much on TikTok. I really should be though. JustPhilB on Instagram. Um, Homeland, I suppose. The
See,
trademark point.
that's what I said to you. Did I say it to you at Comic Con that you should be doing TikTok?
I think you did. You did bring it up. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's those formats that I would have a lot of fun with because I do like being creative,
Mm.
but I just never ever remember to like.
Yeah.
If I have an idea, I think, oh, that's a good TikTok,
Mm.
or I see a really great TikTok and think, oh, I want to do the but you
Yeah,
side by
the
side.
Stitch,
No,
the
I
Stitch
don't.
stuff. Yeah.
Stitch, there you go.
Yeah.
See, I don't even know that. I'm that out of it. But I can see so many great
Mm.
TikToks. I just want to I'd have a lot of fun with it. But I just never find the time.
That's completely fair. Because when we done the interview, obviously, one thing you not just saying this about you, genuinely one of my favorite ones to do. And I think what made it better is you kept like you stayed in a character with it. Like
Mm.
you became Homelander when you put that on, and I think that just really added another dimension to it.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, as soon as we were talking, as soon as like we were just talking, interview, I was interviewing you. I just knew if you do TikTok, you would bang it. You would do very well.
I really appreciate that. It is hearing that does make me see right now. Like after this, I just want to jump straight into TikTok
You
and just be
should.
like, put on the suit and do some random milk videos.
Yeah.
But
But that's the thing, like obviously with the recent hype of the boys and all the Homelander memes, it would be the best time for you to jump in on
mm,
it. Um, because obviously you have that creative side. You're like, from what I gathered when we first spoke, is you have that you're not afraid to be that character. You're not afraid to be yourself essentially within that character. You're allowed, like you're able to express yourself, and I feel like that's just what you could do on TikTok, because I see loads of people who do it. Loads of
mm,
people. I spend half of my life on TikTok. Like if I looked at my screen time now, it would be embarrassing. Um, and although I'm not as big as certain creators, I can watch certain things and know when things are good. And I do truly think that you would absolutely bang it on TikTok. I think you'd kill it. Um,
mm.
so I'm gonna try and push you to start it.
Nah, you have to get me to do as many stitches as
I,
possible. Do
I will.
We'll stitch on stitch on stitch on stitch. Is that something you can do? I don't know if you can do a
Or
stitch on stitch on stitch.
Mr. Miyagi, right? But obviously you're a cosplayer. Um, like I know I'm pretty sure I asked. I don't know if I asked you this. I think I did. Um, but you can give a bit more. Obviously, we kept those interviews very brief because it was for TikTok. This is obviously for YouTube, so it can be a bit more long form. What got you into cosplay? Like, how long have you been doing it? Like,
I think my first, well, I remember dressing up when I was a kid. If there was always like an event for it. So you got the book day at school, for example. Dress up as Bilbo Baggins. That was awesome to do that. I remember obviously going to superhero parties with friends when you're growing up. Dress up as Spider-Man or just stuff obviously I enjoyed. I suppose my first actual cosplay, I can class that as maybe my first Comic Con instead, because plenty of people dress up for outside of Comic Con, obviously.
mm,
I think my first Comic Con was the one. I think it was October, MCM 20. It's got to be 2016.
oh wow, so you're a
Around that
veteran.
time. Yeah. Well, to a degree, I think. And I know plenty of other cosplayers have been doing it for. Well, I don't know what the first Comic Con was in the UK really,
Yeah.
but I remember the first Comic Con. I remember that sort of date because my first cosplay was a casual Captain America
Mm.
from the Civil War film.
Yeah.
I just thought I've no idea where to look for the actual suit. I probably don't have the budget for it at the time.
Yeah.
Um, but I did really want the shield. I wanted it outside of Comic-Con anyway.
Yeah.
So I just thought, you know what, I'm going to split half my paycheck of the month, buy this blank shield from this company in northeast England, northeast metal spinners, I think they're called. They
Yeah.
might, I don't know if they still do it. They probably do. But, you know, shout out to them. And yeah, basically just had a shield commissioned for me, star cut separate, glued it, painted it, assembled it, and well, the shield was the highlight, to be honest.
Yeah.
The thing that obviously drew people in. The jacket, simple, got it from I think eBay maybe. It was just one of the ones where you like dish out when the new films come out. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
this character's jacket, this character's dress, that kind of thing. And then the rest was just basic, t-shirt, jeans, and boots, and it worked ridiculously well. I got a
Yeah.
lot of attention at con, and a lot of people were like, "Are you on Instagram? Are you this? What's your Facebook?" I met so many Marvel cosplayers, obviously, random people wanted pictures of me, and just caught the bug right there and then. And it was such a simple cosplay as well,
Yeah.
which kind of made me think, God, if I actually like went in the actual suit. So I guess that motivation behind it pushed me even further into obviously Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you scared to do it like at a con? Like obviously when you're a kid, I feel like it's a little bit different, as
Yeah,
people won't look
to a
at you the same.
degree. To a degree. I mean, there's always a little bit of. I feel like the transit to a Comic-Con is always the most heart pumping, I suppose, the
Yeah.
most like intense, especially if you're going in cosplay. Some people go for just the day. I went for just the day, my first con. It was only until the following May, the next year, that I went for I think not the whole weekend, but like good. I think just 2 days. But I stayed the night, whatever. But I think when it comes to actually being nervous, it helped to obviously go with friends.
Yeah.
Like-minded people who, again, similar to me, just had a casual cosplay or even just a kit bash cosplay. Stuff they already had because they're obviously fans of whatever they wanted to dress up as. So they naturally you're gonna go out and buy, I don't know, a color scheme of clothes that matches a character you kind of like. I do dress in a lot of like blues, whites, and maybe even have a brown leather jacket because of Captain America films.
Yeah.
That's sort of like very basic sim looking person, I suppose. But yeah, going with people was obviously a big help. I mean, I've walked around con on my own plenty of times. In fact, I do enjoy it quite a bit because, like you said, I can really sort of embrace the character of, say, Homelander or one of my past cosplays, the T-800 Terminator, and just stay in that character and just enjoy myself.
Yeah.
At the moment, that makes sense.
Yeah, you're just kind of
real
escaping.
Experience. Yeah, in a way, escaping, but not so much. Not escaping. I'd say embracing, really.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because you
Fair enough.
can look at some of these characters and just think, you see them on the screen, you see them on your TV, and just think, God, even if they're like a bad character or the evil one, or
Yeah.
Loki cosplayers are there, and Loki, well, was evil or whatever. In my eyes. And yeah, there's people obviously have like so much fun with being the bad guy. And you can do that when you're obviously around other people who may not necessarily be in the same franchise of cosplay, but they can still be like, oh wow, look at that guy over there. Oh, look at that girl over there. And just appreciate the costume for what it is.
Yeah, because when I interviewed, that was my first ever con. I went there, managed to blag myself a press badge. And I've seen videos, you see it everywhere. And it felt so surreal, like being in this whole building of just full of like-minded people. Obviously, you like you said, the journey there is the most like nerve-wracking bit, really, like heart-pumping. Do you think it's getting better? Do you think it's becoming a bit more normal with obviously the increase of like Marvel popularity and superhero popularity, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny because I like to use the image of Captain America to a good to a good degree in this respect. When obviously the first film came out, for example,
Mm.
it wasn't as big as the Iron Man films. I think it did a little bit better than the Incredible Hulk film. I can't remember if it did better than Thor, the first
Mm.
Thor. But the bottom line was that they had to assemble obviously this Avengers group, and Captain America was the sort of the gimmicky. Oh, he just throws a shield. That's it. He's just
Yeah,
a star-spangled man with a plan, kind of gimmicky almost, quite old-fashioned.
yeah,
I think obviously his first film did, it, was successful. It was a good film. Wasn't the best, but it was definitely good, enjoyable. I watched it many times.
mm.
But I like to use the look of Cap and the idea of Cap and how he's evolved, and obviously film after film after film, and obviously more and more fandom has kind of
Yeah,
embraced him almost. I mean, I'll be honest, before the first Captain America film, I didn't really know much about Cap at
yeah.
all. My first and original hero was Spider-Man. Growing up, I was always a
Mm.
little. I mean, I still enjoy Spider-Man, but he was the cartoon I always grew up with. Yeah, I had all the toys. There was no Lego for me there, so I just made my own Lego Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
Um, Now they're everywhere. Now I want them all. But anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, with the acceptance, I suppose, with not just fans, but let's say even the general public.
Mm.
People obviously know Captain America now. They can see the shield and be like, we haven't seen any of the films, but we know he's Captain America. People might
Yeah.
see the comics of Captain America from I don't know, before all the films existed, for example, and just be thinking,
Mm.
oh, it's just a comic, just a superhero comic. That's it. They haven't got that thing to kind of imprint them on, the Chris
Yeah.
Evans version. Um, but I like that sort of evolution, I suppose, that films just
Yeah.
bring what comics can't. Some comics are absolutely great, but films have such a wider reach. They just
Yeah.
do.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. And they're easier to get a hold of films, aren't they, than
Mm,
like a comic book. Um,
mm,
like we talk about back back in the day, like with my parents when they were younger, like obviously if they saw someone walking around in like a full like Captain America suit or something, they'd be perceived, that's the word I'm looking for, perceived as like a bit of a weirdo, a bit of an outsider. But I feel
mm.
like, at least from my point of view, it's becoming so big that it's becoming more normal. Like when I was on the train, I saw loads of cosplayers on the way to Comic-Con, and just looking from outside of view, in my head I was thinking like, let's look at the normal people, like the people wearing normal clothes, and they don't care, like it, because they're so big. Obviously Marvel's one of the biggest things in the world right now. um does that make you a bit prouder to be a cosplayer within this community of how big it's getting and how?
In a sense,
Mm.
I always think as a double-edged sword almost. You have the one side where, while it's incredibly popular and people will recognize you and kids can come up to you and want the photo with you, and even fellow adults will be like, oh
Yeah.
my god, it's Captain America, mate, you look amazing, blah 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 blah. Really really great comments. But on the other side of that, there's also, because there's so popular and
Mm.
there's so much demand, I've sometimes felt a little bit trapped by it. Obviously I do have a lot of inspiration from Cap. It inspires me at the gym.
Mm.
Inspires me to kind of make obviously a good cosplay. Research the cosplays and where to find the best gear, I suppose. Because some of the stuff that I wouldn't be able to make some of the suits.
Yeah.
I'll try my best with like leather work, maybe try and make it as much as I can. But there's some things I just cannot do. And
Yeah.
thankfully there's people out there who do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've had plenty of comments on, say, Instagram or passing comments, even in public when I've been at work or at the gym. Again, I might be wearing a grey t-shirt,
Mm.
and I might be doing an exercise where I'm bringing my arms in,
Yeah.
and quite stretched out, and that's an image from obviously Civil War with it when he's holding the helicopter, for example.
Yeah.
I finished the workout, and then I've had it a few times. People ask me, "Oh, God, you look just like that guy in Captain America, when he's pulling that big helicopter." And I was like, "Yeah, that's my workout in my head, yeah." But I can comment, but it's still there.
Yeah.
It's still that sort of someone's obviously imprinted that on me without even knowing me.
Yeah.
Um, so on Instagram as well, if I've asked, I find those comments sometimes where people might post, "Who do you see me as?" You
Yeah.
might see them. It's quite a common thing where, give me a cosplay that you'd see. It can
Mm.
be curious, which is kind of fun, but it can be quite, um, again, a bit of a trap sometimes, where people have sent me comments about, "You should be Cap, you should be Cap, you should be Cap, you should be this version of Cap, this version of Cap."
Yeah.
And it's like, kind of want to have a bit more variety. Otherwise, I wouldn't have my Instagram as JustPhilB. It
Yeah.
would be just Cap,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
just Captain America, because that's all
Yeah.
I would be.
Just this very specific version of Cat.
Yeah.
Bit of a
But
mouthful.
I get it at Comic Con as well. Like, some people will recognize me and come up to me, it's like, "Oh, I follow your Instagram, you're amazing, blah blah blah." I'm like, again, really appreciative of that. Not to like say blah blah blah, but you know what I mean. They'll sort of say, "Oh, did you bring your suit?" They want to
Yeah.
see the suit. I'm like, "Oh no, I'm just Homelander today," or I'm just God, who did I do the other? Oh, Mr. Incredible as well.
Yeah.
The one I did recently. Um, and it's sort of it's all in good faith, but there's a slight bit of disappointment. They're like, "Oh, that's a shame." I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Just
kind
be
of having fun.
yeah.
I'm having fun in my Mr. Incredible. I'm having fun in my Homelander. Yeah, I'm here for me, kinda.
Yeah. You're
I
not there
love the
just for other
experience of
people.
Comic-Con,
You're there.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
Mm.
I do completely get that. Like, I take it as someone who does it quite a fair bit. Like, it obviously, like you said, you feel very trapped because you're more like, because some people only have seen you as like Captain America or something. They just
Mm,
assume you will always be that character.
mm,
And I think that's an issue with like a lot of things within this space, like even with like being a creator and stuff like that. If you get popularity off one thing, people just assume you to stick with that thing. But as a
definitely, yeah.
person
Mm,
who creates that sort of content, your mind is so creative. You want to vary, you want to
mm.
expand.
You wanna
And
branch out to the
mm,
different areas, yeah.
does it? Do you ever get annoyed with like? I know you said like they get a bit disappointed. Does it like piss you off sometimes when people are like, "Have you had have?" Let me rephrase it. Has anyone ever gotten annoyed at you for not being Captain America? Like genuinely?
Mm, not so much. Definitely not at Comic-Con, really, unless
Yeah,
they're quite a persistent fan, shall we say.
yeah,
Now I'm nowhere near as popular as some Instagrammers or
mm,
influencers. Um, but I'd say that because you're at Comic Con, you can guarantee there's going to be another version of that character there. I see
yeah,
so many Caps. I see so many Harley Quinns. I see so many, well, just a character that is obviously
mm,
popular is going to have loads and loads of people wanting to do it because they love that character,
yeah,
and that's great. So I'm never really kind of sad that
mm,
they're sad I haven't brought my suit. If they're
yeah,
willing to appreciate and supportive of me, then yeah, great. If it's outside of con, I did have I was going to go for one shoot this one time, and the photographer was asking, "Oh, could you bring um the stealth suit, the
yeah,
Winter Soldier one?" That's probably one of the most popular suits for Captain America in the films, at least anyway.
mm,
It's a very, very good looking suit. But I remember saying back to the photographer, "Oh, unfortunately, it's a little bit damaged. I don't really have the interest to kind of restore it at this time.
yeah,
I do have my Civil War one though, obviously the next film. And I remember their reply back was very sort of like, "No, that's not the look I'm going for. Never mind." And then just left it at that. I was like, "Oh,
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, yeah.
I'll
No,
just throw
I
myself out then." That's they appreciate they. There wasn't the working with me. It was working with obviously my gear almost.
yeah.
So
I
that was a
find that a
little
little
bit
bit,
restrictive.
it's a bit, the way it comes with a little bit rude as well, because it's like you've asked someone to do a shoot, however it goes. Like, it just because they don't have one suit, if you're a photographer, you should be able to change what you're wanting to do. If that's your passion,
Hmm.
like you should be able to
Yeah,
ever so slightly
I think a
change it.
good photographer can be adaptive to
Yeah.
any situation and not put the pressure too much on obviously their subject, I guess, or their focus. I
Yeah,
work
I get what you're trying to say. Yeah.
I'm not a photographer. Well, I would like to do a bit of photography at some point, but I don't have the eye for some photographers out there. That the editing skills are just amazing. Um, but yeah, you're right, definitely. It can be very sort of a good photographer should definitely have that kind of on the fly. Okay, you're here. You've got this. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll do this. We'll just have fun. We'll do
Yeah.
what we'll make some art basically.
Yeah.
Um, they should be able to do that without, regardless of what you're wearing. I could literally come in a Captain America mankini, and they could definitely make me look amazing in that.
Yeah. But that's
Um,
the thing. At the end of the day, it's meant to just be. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be fun,
mm,
and I think as soon as like he's trying to take the fun out of it by saying you like wear the stealth suit, like do the
mm,
stealth suit, or else okay, never mind. Like
mm,
it's like you should really the suit should be an accessory to the person. The person should be there. You should see the person. You should see the personality in the
mm.
pictures over, I think, the suit. At least that's the way it comes across to me. Like when I see
Yeah,
cosplayers.
yeah. I definitely think it's a bit of everything really, because obviously I won't be too much of a critic, I suppose, in this instance, but you can see some people, for example, if someone's got the budget of, I don't know, less than £100 maybe, and they assemble themselves a foam shield, for
Yeah,
example, um, a jacket that's kind of similar to it, maybe the right color scheme, maybe a paper mask, something.
mm,
They've been creative where they've actually put in some effort into it to like make it themselves almost. But then you have another person who's got £2,000
yeah,
on their budget to buy a full quarter suit that's got detailed engraving and the correct badges that they use in
yeah,
the film, or the correct buckles used on the helmet.
yeah,
Very detailed stuff that they, in their position, can afford and use. Obviously, from a photographer's point of view, they will probably lean more towards the one who kind of look the part.
mm,
I kind of compare it to, say, PT in
yeah,
fitness, for example. If you've got two people who studied the exact same course, same qualifications, pretty much the exact same approach to a workout, but one of them is not looking like a bodybuilder on Instagram
yeah,
with those shirtless pics and the tan look and the shiny muscle, all that kind of look, and the other person who's not very out there, shall we say?
yeah,
They don't really advertise themselves. Of course, they're going to go for the person with the
mm,
muscles and the reach, so we say. You could put the same logic to cosplayers,
yeah,
but in no way is that meant to be like, in my opinion, someone who's wearing £5 worth of stuff or cosplay can have just as much fun as someone's wearing £500 worth.
yeah,
As evident from my first Comic Con, I literally went as casual cap,
yeah,
and I had people coming up to me and saying, "God, you look, I'd rather have you in your casual suit than this person in the real suit." And I was like,
yeah. Because I think what also works well for the casual one that you've done is people will think, oh, okay, I'm going to do a Captain America cosplay. Let's search up a suit like Captain America suit. Whereas
"Hmm,
the casual one, like that's very unique of a very popular character. I find like, and I think that's at least in my opinion why I think that would work so well because it's a unique take on a already popular character. But
hmm."
with money, do you think the cosplay community, or not saying, I'm not, that's very like generalizing the cosplay community. Do you think some members of the community will look down upon other cosplayers because they haven't got the money to spend? They haven't.
Yeah, definitely. But I don't think that's just a cosplay thing.
Mm.
That's
Oh
just a
yeah,
human,
no,
that's just a
yeah,
human thing. You're going to have that in all
Mm.
walks of life. You're going to have it again at the gym. You're
Mm.
going to have it with people who own fancy looking car and someone who has Flintstones mobile, I don't know, something like
Yeah.
that, like runs on.
Do you think it's
I
more
don't know.
apparent in the cosplay community, or would you say it's just as even as like you said in the gym? Or
I think in my personal experience, I do think it's very balanced,
yeah,
just as like I said, a human trait really.
Mm.
I have come across obviously people who, well, me being one of them as well. I've wanted, say, um, I wanted to do more sort of armored cosplays, for example,
Yeah,
and more sort of like something that looks quite sturdy. It's not going to fall apart on me, and very sort of, well, unique in a sense.
yeah,
And to do that, obviously, there's a lot of commitment to it. Things like 3D printers, or knowing how to weather and paint, and knowing
Mm.
what kind of glues to use. And I'm lost in that kind of area. And there's so many cosplayers at the moment who are currently helping me. I'm so grateful for them.
Yeah,
But I know that I've been in that situation as well, where people have come to me and they've sent me messages saying, "Dude, I love your Captain America cosplay. Where did you get the shield? Or where'd you get this?" Or just ask me loads of questions. Um, so in that regard, I do think that as a group, I suppose, or as a group of cosplayers, um, there is always going to be that element of like the mighty, shall we say? I
yeah,
guess the ones who are not above, but just they have more of the knowledge and the connections because they've just
yeah.
gone down that road.
Hmm.
The experience, I guess.
Yeah, like I think you, as again, I would say I am obviously new to everything, so I kind of have like maybe an ignorant way of thinking with it, um, and you do put it in very good words. Would So final one on this? What words or how would you tell someone to, if they were wanting to get into cosplay, what would be the advice you give them? Like,
I wouldn't want to scare them off. That's one thing,
mm,
because I've been scared off many cosplays by someone saying, "You gotta buy this, you gotta do this, you gotta commit
yeah,
to it, you gotta make it into an arduous task." And I think to myself, no, that's not the right way to approach it for someone who's new.
yeah,
Someone who's new at something, you want them to seize their interest in it. You want them to focus on obviously the enjoyment of it.
mm,
Why did I want to do Casual Cat? I love the character, I love the films, and I just wanted to be around others who I knew would be
yeah,
there, like Comic Con. Where else are you going to go to kind of find like-minded people?
yeah,
Um, so I anyone who's like trying to get into cosplay, just focus on what you like.
yeah,
It's incredibly simple. There's so many things that people enjoy, whether it's films, games, comics, an obscure scene from one forgotten film from ages ago. You're probably going to find someone who's going to know that
yeah.
scene as well.
Or it might just trigger a memory that people might not like that have.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So as long as you enjoy the cosplay,
Mm,
do the cosplay.
yeah, I think that's
Don't
very good because
cosplay for others, cosplay for yourself.
yeah, I think that's a good way because I think people are scared because they see like the popular ones, like not. I'm not trying to target them or anything. I'm choosing them as an example. Like,
Yeah, you're just
you,
using what is
yeah,
available through media. Yeah.
like so. I take you've heard of like Taya Miller, American. She's very, very popular, very big. Like she creates a lot of her own stuff.
I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and like she created her own like Moon Knight one, and she created a lot of them. And I feel like some people might watch that and get a little bit scared, and be like, "Oh God, is this what it entails?" And be like, "I can't do that, so I'm not going to do it." And what
Mm.
you're trying to say is just don't you don't need to spend that money. Like you can make
Yeah,
the cosplay out of
absolutely.
anything.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. You never need to. I've seen people go to Comic-Con without even spending any money on a costume and just going to con as obviously a civilian, just taking pictures.
yeah,
You know, any of my friends who aren't cosplayers will just go to Comic-Con. I might even bump into one of my co-workers who at my new job was at the Comic-Con, and
oh
she was
wow,
showing pictures where she was like, "Oh yeah, this is me, and I'm taking photos here." I was like, "You were there. I was there. I was the Homelander there. Oh my god, I saw a Homelander." So
what
without
would
that,
have been
without even like
jokes?
realizing,
What would have been funny is if she took a picture with you, didn't realize it was you, and showed you. Be like, "Oh, look at this sick cosplayer," and you're just like, "That's me."
I think that's. I'll wait until that day comes. I think the
Yeah,
closest I've had that was I was waiting for a train in Waterloo to visit my family in Manchester, and I'm just standing there idle,
mm.
uh, case, looking on my phone, got music in, just waiting for the train basically.
Yeah,
And someone comes up to me and sort of, I thought they wanted to get past me, so I moved a little bit out of the way, but
mm.
they've still come in for me. I was like, oh, okay, what's that? You were at Comic Con recently? I was like, yes. I didn't realize I was wearing the brown jacket of Captain America.
Yeah,
I still had my hair in kind of like the look, I suppose. So I unintentionally dressed as Captain America at
yeah.
Waterloo, and someone was like, I had a photo with you. Look, look, look. I was like, oh my God,
Mm.
I'm famous.
Was that a bit of a surreal? Because when I was at Comic Con, obviously I went there as a fan. I obviously went there to interview people, to get to know people, because I'm obviously, tell by my backdrop, I'm a little bit passionate about this sort of stuff. Um, and
Where mine?
and like, even like I got recognized there just through like my TikTok. And, like, it was very surreal for me. Like, did that, obviously you're just in public, you're just at a train station waiting for your train. Was that like at the moment you realize that, oh shit, like people like kind of know who I am, like not in like a big headed sense, but like,
Hmm. It didn't really cross my mind. I mean, it only sort of crossed my mind when I started telling people about it. When they said, "Oh," they give me the reaction of, "Oh, you must be quite famous then." I was just like,
mm,
I generally just think it was just a coincidence
yeah,
and someone who appreciated what I did at Comic Con.
mm,
It didn't make me scared or anything. It didn't make me worried, I suppose.
yeah,
It's when people get a bit too passionate about the characters you might cosplay that it
mm,
can be a bit much, and there is that level of boundary where
yeah,
a whole nother level with cosplay that can be quite obviously tricky,
mm,
as with everyone in life with any subject. Boundaries need to be set, and some people cross them, and it can be quite scary at times.
yeah,
But
I,
as a majority, I
mm,
do think that Comic Con is a very, very safe place to
yeah.
be.
I think especially at con, it's somewhere people go there and they know, like, obviously you go there, and I think if you cosplay, you should really be expected for maybe like one person to ask you for a picture. But I do think it's also, people need to know like boundaries. Like, this is just a normal person. Like, they're not, a lot, like 90% of them aren't being paid to be there. They're going there as a fan themselves.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
need to
exactly.
understand they're a person as well.
Mm.
Like, have
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
have you encountered any like real, not that you have to go in depth, but have you encountered any like really bad people before? Or
I wouldn't say I would say bad people. Just inappropriate, I guess,
yeah,
people. Is probably the best word, because bad I feel is a bit too strong of a word.
mm,
Unless someone actually causes someone some serious harm and it's a serious issue that needs to be raised, then yeah, that person's clearly a bad person. No one
yeah,
if you go out of your way to make someone feel bad, you're a bad person.
yeah, yeah,
That's just as simple as you're just a bully.
mm,
I've had a few instances, I suppose, where at Comic Con someone might take jokes a bit too far, maybe.
yeah,
There's the common one with Cap, for example, is the America's ass
yeah,
joke from the Endgame film. Obviously Scott Lang is like, oh, that's America's
yeah,
ass. And it's just, yeah. it's funny in the film in the context of obviously what they're doing, Marvel humor, whatever.
Yeah.
But when it's humor that's just sort of forced into two random strangers who don't know
Yeah.
each other, and that's the icebreaker they might choose, it's a bit. Can you stop staring at me in that way?
Yeah. See, that raised a point I did kind of want to briefly step on, because obviously from what I see, obviously it feels like from what this is just personal experience, I see a lot more female cosplayers. Do you think it's a more female dominated sort of like that, like there's more females doing cosplay, or do you reckon it is quite balanced and I just haven't seen as broad as you might have seen?
I think that has many different like branches that stem off from that, both good and bad.
Yeah.
You can obviously go and focus on the good ones that, it's just, those females obviously feel very comfortable to cosplay
Yeah.
whatever character they want to cosplay, and that's great. Some can be in very revealing outfits, some can be in just full clad armor, whatever that makes them feel comfortable. If they've got the confidence to do that, if they've got the
All for them.
yeah, well, in that sense, fair play to them. Enjoy the day. Don't get sunburned. Great, whatever. But like I said, when it's like a more female dominated area, I just think that might be purely because of a media influence.
Yeah.
You have that obviously, for lack of a better word, sexualized image of obviously these fictional characters.
Yeah.
A common one that kind of does sort of creep me out a little bit is Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
Like anime kind of related ones, because usually in anime the characters are portrayed as quite young. I mean, Misty, Pokemon, she's 10, I think, is she?
Yeah.
Or she's same age as Ash.
Yeah.
The main protagonist. And obviously I've seen plenty of cosplayers that wear very, very, very skimpy outfits and walk around con. They have
when they're like
fun.
a 10-year-old.
Yeah, but then you obviously have some photographers who might sort of target that and think they might have grown up with Comic-Con, and that kind of is their maybe a childhood crush realized into an adult form, and that might be taking it even further down a path that's a bit too inappropriate, I guess. Some people are fine with that. Some people want to be noticed like that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But you can never really tell what someone is obviously comfortable with off first glance.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, okay, I'm standing in a crowd with like a dozen people in front of me. I can pinpoint every single one of them to see what their insecurities are or their interests are. It's impossible. So it takes obviously the person seeing these people, to have my own boundaries to kind of be like, you know what, I'm going to be respectful.
Yeah.
I'm not going to touch and grab, obviously. I'm going to ask permission to obviously photos. I see a lot of, I say professional photographers, but just photographers who might just be going around with a camera. I've seen it a few times where someone's having another shot and they just get an angle and just click and then walk.
Yeah.
That kind of instance can be very like, I'm on display kind of thing.
Yeah.
Especially for women. So when you say obviously that it's a more dominated area for women, I don't think it necessarily is.
Yeah. It's just the way that it's perceived in the media.
Yeah, there's just as many guys as there are girls.
Yeah.
But the media influence and the algorithms within TikTok, the hashtags, did I say TikTok or Instagram?
Yeah.
One of two. What's going to draw people in, especially in a geeky fandom, I suppose. Generally in a geeky fandom, you're going to have a lot of males as opposed to females. That is changing nowadays, I think. You're getting a bit more of a balance.
Yeah.
But I still think that vision is still there within people who have grown up and are the photographers, who are the videographers, who are the older generation, I guess.
Yeah, that's why I thought I'd ask, because obviously you've been in like the cosplay community a lot longer than me. And I just, because obviously from TikTok, all you really like, as like a ratio, you see a lot more females than you do male cosplayers. and obviously that is due to like algorithm, like boosting those sort of videos. And obviously when you talk about it, you see, like you touched on it a lot, there's a lot of like, for lack of like a better way to say it, there's a lot of weirdos out there. Like obviously I think, again, with media you see it a lot more with females, but it's not just that. Like it does happen with men. Like, do you encounter a lot of weirdos out there? Like,
Yeah, I think I don't want to sound like I've solved the equation or anything, or solved the idea of categories. Basically, it's
yeah.
not about like categories
Oh yeah,
really.
no, I know what you're trying.
At the end of the day, I do feel like everyone is pretty much exactly the same, really.
Mm.
We're all just people.
Yeah,
We all have those kind of images at some point, all those kind of like fantasies, shall we say, just to a different level of degree. And it takes own responsibility and those boundaries once again to kind of set a tone and be like, I'm not going to be the weirdo today.
yeah.
If something's awkward, I'm going to excuse myself. I'm going to be like,
Mm.
you know what? I'm going to go over there. I've done it a few times in Comic-Con.
Yeah,
A group has made me feel a little bit like I'm not really enjoying the talk, maybe, or someone's just sort of like included themselves almost, and it's kind of just sort of, give me some space. I don't know who you are.
yeah.
Now I get that obviously people want to be involved with obviously groups of fellow nerds,
Mm.
but like you said earlier, we're all still just people.
Yeah,
We're people underneath the suits, and we still have that kind of we need that. Hello,
yeah,
my name is. Oh, hello, my name
yeah.
is. Introductions.
Mm.
You need that healthy start, because otherwise you're just gonna look odd
Yeah,
and
because
out of place in lack of a better
yeah,
sense.
no, I completely get it, because when I was doing my interview, everyone that came over, like I didn't want to just say, come over, interview, fuck off. Like I didn't want to do that. Like, because that's one, that's very rude to do it like that. And two, like everyone's just a person there. Like they're just people at the end of the day. Like when you came over, like I remember, like, because I'd seen you walking around, and I said to you, remember my big tall friend Robert. Um,
Yeah.
I said to him, like, that Homelander looks sick. And I can't remember if it was him who got you or it was my other friend. But obviously came over, and I didn't want to just say, right, come here, do the interview here, then you can fuck off. Like, because I think obviously if I had done that, wouldn't be having this conversation now. But I think, like we've spoken about before, I think just people do have a tendency to forget underneath the costume, underneath a mask, if they're wearing one, they are just they're you, just in a costume.
Yeah.
They're not different.
You could say as well that some people, I think you said earlier, about 90% of people who are going to Comic-Con, or maybe even more than that, are going there they're not getting paid, basically.
Yeah.
They may have got like a creator pass ticket or something, or maybe they've got a booth, or they've still had to pay for the booth, obviously. But they're not there to kind of make a profit.
Yeah.
As opposed to that, some people do go for a profit. Some people do want to get obviously noticed and included more, and obviously expand themselves and be included, and extend their reach. Followers, likes, favorites, whatever, collaborations.
Yeah.
So I've been on, say, film sets, for example, where you have the director like ordering people around. It's very it's a business, obviously.
Yeah.
They have a time schedule. They need to get XYZ done by this time, and if it's not done, then that's a day ruined, or that's wasted time. It's wasted money. So you do have, again, those videographers or those photographers they're very good with their direction of where they want people to be.
Yeah.
But they can come off quite strongly with how quick they want to do it.
With someone who's not used to it as well.
Yeah, not everyone's prepared for that. It can be quite daunting.
Yeah.
I mean, my first video of being included in a video was a Anyway, I think it was with I don't know if you've heard of 86th Floor
Yes,
on
yes.
Instagram. Absolutely amazing videos at Comic-Con. Great compilations and great music, great editing. Every time I always see them at Con.
Mm,
I've never really met them face to face. Really, I've been in a few
mm,
videos of off chance, but seeing them work, very professional. But in the moment, I've
mm.
seen obviously being a part of just a panning shot. We don't have to do much,
Yeah,
but quite a few takes involved because they have a certain vision, they want to get it right,
yeah.
and they're there with obviously their business or their kind of uh, fuel,
Platform.
their
Yeah.
the platform, the advertisement basically. And I remember during that shoot where I wasn't looking upright or something. I was in my first, I think I did the 2012 Avengers Captain
Oh,
America,
okay, yeah.
and I wasn't looking right at one point. And as soon as it got to me, and
Mm,
I was looking down, they were like, "Oh no, reset. We've got to do it again." This one here wasn't looking up, and I was like, "Ah, sorry."
yeah,
I felt really bad. I was
yeah,
like, "Oh no, now I feel kind of like down now."
yeah,
But it was fun to be part of it, and again with other people, obviously watch them work. But it got me thinking about stuff I've obviously talked about now about you know the difference between some people who are there to obviously grow and get their you know product seen, shall we
yeah,
say, and then obviously the people who are there to just have fun
yeah,
and just enjoy the day and just be
yeah.
a nerd and just buy some stuff while wearing a fancy costume
Mm,
and meet up with some people they haven't seen for a year or two.
yeah. That's yeah, because obviously when I went there, I was like set up some interviews. But if we approach someone, they're like, no, it's like we were never rude about it. We just said, no worries, change your mind, come back. Enjoy the rest of your time, enjoy the rest of your day. That's what I said to everyone. Even like having interviews, I always said just enjoy the rest of your day. That's why I wanted to keep them brief as well. I didn't want to. I know people are there to just enjoy themselves. I didn't want to take people away from the experience of con being there.
Yeah.
But obviously, so on Instagram, you do a fair few like like anonymous questions, don't you? You like your odd anonymous
I,
questions.
I I have that odd curiosity there, yeah, which
Yeah.
it can be quite fun. I like playing games with people sometimes with my
Mm,
stories. So I'm more of a
yeah.
story poster than an actual poster. I'm
Yeah.
trying to change that, but it's difficult.
Um, and within the anonymous, I think people get a little bit of like a bit of security with what they ask.
Mm.
I've seen a couple of times you've been put off by certain questions that are asked. Do you get that a lot then? Like, do you get a lot of those weird questions that make you feel uncomfortable? Does that ever put you off,
Yeah,
like the fact that you've joined this community? Like,
yeah, definitely. I get those questions definitely, and I can't imagine how many some other
hmm.
cosplayers might get them, especially not to pinpoint, but female
Yeah,
cosplayers.
yeah,
The amount they might get targeted, I'll never understand.
mm,
I won't know how they ever deal with it. And if I get very unnerved sometimes by some of the questions I get,
yeah,
I don't post.
yeah,
It makes me even more, um, let's say, protective at con.
yeah,
If I see someone obviously, having not a great time or something, or someone approaches me and just says, can I just hang around with you because there's this, person following me or something? I'm like, absolutely,
yeah,
let's go over here and check out this tree,
yeah,
whatever. Let's just get out of here, shall we?
mm,
And just stay in a group basically. But yeah, with regards to those questions, yeah, I do definitely get um some unnerving ones,
yeah,
and I'll post the lesser ones to kind of be subtle about it with people who are viewing my stories and just saying, look, the reason I haven't posted this one is because it probably made me feel a bit,
uncomfortable.
"Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
there's boundaries that you clearly need to work on.
mm.
Sometimes
I think it is definitely
that
the
message is very
anonymity.
difficult to get across,
Mm,
especially over a platform without obviously having that face-to-face confrontation
yeah,
almost. And then it's just unfortunately awkward.
and if you use the wrong word or something, then people take it out of context, make you look like the bad person. But it's like you've just been made uncomfortable by what someone's asked. Like you're well within your right to feel uncomfortable with certain questions. Like, not saying you have to go in depth with anything, but some people, although the anonymity gives some people a bit more safety in their mind, like, oh, I can get away with asking this. There are obviously the people who still do it in person, and as bad as it is, obviously, like you said, it can happen to anyone, but more times it will happen to women, which is disgusting at the end of the day. I don't know why people were still like that. But it's just, it makes me a bit annoyed because it's like they're there to enjoy themselves. And then you have these people like who maybe in their mind they don't think it's bad. Like they haven't been brought up with manners or whatever, like within that sort of region.
Yeah.
And
you never
just,
really know anyone's upbringing at the end of the day.
And it's just, it's a bit, not heartbreaking, but it's a bit disheartening to see that it still happens. And I think people need to kind of understand that everyone's there to enjoy themselves. Like,
I feel like, as I said earlier, I do think it's not just obviously subjected to Comic-Con, but it's just it's just unfortunate. It's a human trait.
Yeah.
It's been there since obviously the dawn of time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Media and the anonymous side of things does help with that, I think.
Yeah.
Because it fuels obviously that secrecy, that, oh, I can get away with this message, I can see what the reaction will be, kind of thing. Tests, not tests, like, I don't know what the expression might be, but they're basically safe.
Yeah.
Now you probably wouldn't have had that unless it was like hearsay, or like, whispers from one person to another. Oh, he said, she said this, and then he said, she said that, and then there's this bad blood almost that might not even be worth it, and brought out of context.
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously that level of like anonymous questions, as much as I do like to mess around with some people sometimes on my stories, because I can be very creative when it comes to like just randomness. And then that's something I might incorporate into my Homeland cosplay, of just how like spontaneous it might be.
Yeah.
But that's just me as a character. I mean, as a person, bringing that into a character. But yeah, with that limits, I guess. It's just, again, part of that double-edged sword with obviously media, with social media. You're going to have the good, and you're definitely going to have the bad.
Yeah.
But I think as a whole, the cosplay community as a whole, I think, is very aware of this and very supportive and protective of obviously their own.
Yeah.
And it takes, obviously, someone who's obviously going to their first Comic-Con isn't going to be probably part of the cosplay community. How can they?
Yeah.
They haven't been involved with it yet. They're here to experience it. And hopefully that's a good experience for them.
Yeah.
I fully advise anyone who's thinking of going to a Comic-Con, go to a Comic-Con, have fun. Go with your friends, go with your parents, go with your bloody neighbor. Who cares?
Yeah.
Just have fun at Comic-Con, and you'll find the right people. You will.
Yeah. And you'll find friends as well. Like, you will make friends.
Yeah.
Like prior to Comic-Con, like, this, no offense, I didn't know you existed. But obviously, like we spoke at Comic-Con, we're obviously doing this now.
Yeah. Exactly.
And like other people as well who I met at Comic-Con over that weekend, who I'm mutuals with now and talk to a fair bit. And I think that's what people like, even if you have the confidence to go by yourself, because maybe your friends don't want to, you will find the connections, you will find like-minded people, you'll find friends. And I think that's still something that I think we need to, or maybe we already have and I just don't see it, but need to get over, is just the fear of it. Like, just enjoy yourself. You're going there for fun. No one's going to be judging you there. Regardless.
And if someone there are those people who go to Comic-Con to be judged, obviously, like is it Masquerade? Is it the go on the stage and they obviously have the best cosplay kind of thing? There is that element of competition to it. That's all in good sport. But when you say obviously like no one's going to judge you and whatnot, even if someone is judging your cosplay, I've had people judge my cosplay and be like, oh yeah, your belt's all wrong, or this is upside down, or the star on your shield is slightly misaligned. It should be at
Yeah.
this point, just like,
Should be at a 47-degree angle, not a 36. Like,
my God, the world has stopped spinning.
yeah.
What are we gonna do?
Mm.
I've got to sort it out right now. Let's go to my hotel and we can fix it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Off I go. It's not like that. I've been like, oh,
Okay.
okay.
It's
See
almost
ya.
as if it's my own take on the character, not like,
Well, this is the universe where my shield is slightly this way.
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
As long as you have a positive mindset to someone's criticism,
yeah.
nothing can touch you at Comic-Con.
Like,
I had that
I'm
bad
all
experience
for
at Comic-Con,
mm,
and I don't want to do it again.
like I'm all for constructive criticism. Like that's how you improve as a person as well. Like improve with your content. Like people who have like criticisms of the content I make, if it's constructive, I'll take it in and improve what I can. But then obviously it's that whole thing of the fine line, isn't it? Like there's a fine line between constructive criticism and just being an arsehole about it.
Well, just being a bully, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Like obviously so off away from that sort of deep chat about cosplay, I'm very happy we went into it because as we've said,
I can talk for hours about it.
Yeah,
if you got another subject,
like
move on, because I'll keep on going.
maybe we should do another one where we talk specifically about like the proper deep side of
We
it.
can make a series of this. I don't mind that.
Yeah. But away from that, but still on the cosplay thing, obviously you done what cosplays did you do? You done Mr. Incredible and Homelander, correct? The most recent one.
Yeah. Most
are you going to con in October?
I am hoping to, yeah. I'm not too sure if I'll go for the whole weekend yet. It's still a bit in the air. I'm hoping to go the whole weekend because I'm definitely part of I'm part of a group I do want to do that's very out of like superhero kind of realms.
Yeah.
I've got my own cosplay that I'm working on now that I'm still kind of keeping a secret.
I was hoping we could get a little bit of a.
Pretty sure people will probably know about it anyway. I haven't got any kind of pieces to show off properly yet.
Yeah.
And then I'd kind of like to have not a casual cosplay, but just an easy cosplay to enjoy actual con and just have it around and then just shop, because buying stuff can just be, it's probably a bit more expensive, but it's worth it because you're
that story.
I feel like I'm in a market in Star Wars or something.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
You're just sort of experiencing this huge spaceport that offers all this kind of food and merchandise, and buy this thing that's probably going to break when you get home or something. Yeah, I'll buy it. Who cares? So there is that kind of element that I am looking forward to, and hopefully I can go for the whole weekend.
Yeah, because I'm planning, hopefully, going to the next one. Obviously, should get a part 3 interview. Part 1 there, part 2 now. Essentially, should get a part 3. Because after Comic-Con, a few months later, I went to London and I bought a lightsaber. You see, spent 160 quid on it. It was a bit expensive. It's on my stand at the moment. I'll try and reach it. It hasn't got the blade in yet, but it's proper. It's very well.
Oh, it's not this one, is it? The Ray one, is it?
No,
it's here, but I've got it for my Anakin cosplay. But
I got it from the Disney store in London. It's titled the Skywalker Saga, lightsaber. Obviously, I know some people don't like the fact Rey's a Skywalker. I don't get it. But whether or not I'll cosplay, because I did, as someone who's new, I've had this jacket for a while. I have my Star-Lord jacket. It cost me a fair bit. So maybe I try and improve that and maybe stay away from the interviews for one day and do that. But another thing, maybe a bit on the teacher. Obviously, as someone who's not built like someone else as yourself, as a bit of a dad bod, do you think that is a reason people don't get into it? Because it's it's an insecurity I have. Like in a couple pictures I took at Comic-Con with certain things, you can see my man boobs in like through my shirt, and it's a bit of an insecurity, but would you say that is a reason why some people don't get into it fully, because they're not ripped or in shape?
Yeah, definitely. I think I was surprised at con when I chatted with people. I discovered just how many PTs go there. You know, personal
Yeah.
trainers, or fitness enthusiasts, for example.
Mm.
You know, depending on, a lot of them might be Dragon Ball Z cosplayers,
Yeah.
which they'll look absolutely ripped for and look amazing, whatever. But there is obviously, like you say, that kind of, again, seeing like a absolutely gigantic bodybuilder at a, you know, gym or something. You're
Mm.
doing your little exercise next to them, and they're just lifting
Yeah.
the biggest weight ever. You're just like, oh, I guess I'll just go home, will I? Kind
Mm.
of demoralizes you. But as much as I've said to some clients in the past, in fitness or even again in cosplay, don't worry about them. That's their
Yeah.
journey. If they're going for absolute accuracy, and they're going
Mm.
through the painstaking process of waiting 2 or 3 weeks, scrickle or something.
Yeah.
That's their way.
Mm.
That's their problem. You know, if you can live with the fact that you've done your own work and your own journey, and you can just focus on that,
Yeah.
then that's way more rewarding than matching
Someone
whatever the
else.
person
Yeah.
next to you is doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. I've been next to some. No, I've been next to some like cosplayers, some other Captain America cosplayers who have just the most amazing uh, suits,
Mm.
and then I find out they're from the same place I got my suit.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, why is this one so much better? Why is this? I don't really. It's cut so much better. It's got this sort of shine to it. It's got weathering or something. They might have
Mm.
done their own weathering, sure, but that's what I think on my second, or no, it was the Comic Con. I had the 2012 Avengers cap,
Yeah.
where I didn't really enjoy that cosplay purely because I was very focused on the screen accuracy, and I saw
Mm.
so many other Captain America cosplayers who were wearing not that suit, because not very many people liked that suit in general.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it because it was different. It would stand out a bit more at the time.
Yeah.
But it ruined the kind of experience for me because I set my expectations for it too high.
Yeah.
And then when I didn't meet that, I was disappointed at myself, and it affected the whole weekend pretty much.
Mm.
So yeah, I do think that if you do have obviously like an insecurity about your own image, for example,
Mm.
I'm not as ripped as this person, I'm not as big as this
Yeah.
strong person,
Which
I'm not
I will hold my hands up and say I do.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah, I think my advice there, again, because I have been in that sort of area before. I do train at the gym, not much,
yeah.
kind of slacked a bit, and COVID and whatnot,
Yeah.
or the pandemic, for example. But I haven't let it stop my cosplay journey
Mm.
at all. If anything, it's kind of helped me realize I want to focus more on, say, the armored stuff.
Yeah.
I want to focus more on the props. I want to focus more on the franchises that don't rely on that
Yeah.
ripped physique. Some people use it for inspiration in their gym workouts, and they want to be hell. Again, one of the main reasons I started going to the gym was Captain America,
Yeah.
the first Avenger film. When he comes out of the superhero microwave, and I'm just like, holy hell,
Yeah.
could he be any more sweaty? I want that right now. I want Haley Atwell to sort of tapping her chest uncontrollably. And obviously I just put in the work for that.
Mm.
But not without a price, not without sacrificing a bit of social life, sacrificing obviously money to invest into it.
Yeah.
So I think it is daunting, absolutely, for
Mm.
people who obviously see such great cosplayers or with great bodies or put in that dedication. It can be very intimidating.
Yeah.
But again, my advice is to just
Focus on yourself.
realize your own limits and just work
Mm.
within that reach. And if
Yeah.
you want to push yourself a bit more, go right ahead. If you
Yeah.
want to stay within your comfort zone, again, stay where you are. No one's going to judge you for that. And if they are, they're in the wrong. They're
Yeah.
the bully. Let them be the bully and just cut them out of your life.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's something I'm hoping to improve on. Is my physique. Need to go to the gym and learn proper form.
Come with me to the gym. We'll do a workout or something.
That would be.
We'll actually get
I
me
am
back in
down.
the gym. So
I am down to arrange that one day. Make it into a little. Well, that would be part 4 of this little.
we don't. This isn't going to be like a threequel or anything. This is just going to be a season now. So
Yeah. We're season 1 now. Guaranteed season 1. I'm holding you to that. I'm holding you to a gym session now. But no, I don't want to take too much time at your evening because obviously before we recorded, you said you'd been up since 4.
I've got tomorrow off, so I'm going to be sleeping in. I'm going to be, and then when I'm ready, I'm going to be cosplay working as well because I've been itching to do some.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to post some about it on my Instagram and maybe I do a TikTok. Maybe.
Yes. If you do, let me know and I'll stitch it and promote it as much as I can because as I've said so like at the start, I truly think you genuinely could bang it on there because you have a very like creative personality. You have a very good personality for TikTok, and you'd smash it. To be completely honest.
I had dozens of video for Star Wars, and when I had my hair long for Anakin. I think I've got a few of them on my TikTok. I pinned the most popular one, should we say? I think it was filmed literally in this room, actually. Yeah. I think something happened with TikTok where it suddenly just deleted all the drafts. I had a good dozen or 2 dozen drafts of not just me, but stitches as well with Anakin. I remember working on them for like a whole week, and then I was going to post them like as a routine or a schedule, and then they just disappeared. And I was like, that was demoralizing. So I need to find another thing to kind of focus on. And Homeland with his milk might be
you should definitely get on that. 100%.
Put my hair back in bit long at the moment, but
luscious, some would say. One thing I do want to bring up, because if people have got this far, on my TikTok, I have referenced a couple of times that I'm actually currently writing a Spider-Man fan film. Yes. And obviously it's going to have a lot of different characters. And I'll publicly put this out. In any way I can get you involved, would you want to be involved in some way, shape or form?
I think that's you pretty much just did you not see my story a few days ago on Instagram where if anyone's got any kind of fan films or any kind of like video, I will jump on it because being involved with something like that, and even just a fan film, no profit involved or anything, just investing your own money into something you're obviously passionate about. Again with cosplay, absolutely, I'll be on board.
Yeah.
If you need an Eddie Brock or something,
I might have to.
Box head.
I will let you know because it's still semi-early days. I've written a few scenes so far, but as soon as I know anything, like I'll let you know. Because it's just I want like I've said to my friend who's going to help me film it. I want to get people who are just as passionate about it as me and and love the characters as much as me. And I know you're passionate about that sort of stuff, so I thought I'd ask.
I will happily answer a big old yes with that. Yes, definitely. I would be very. It's like
I'm on Britain's Got Talent. I forgot to ask you at the start. Last day on Earth. It'll be the last question, then we'll end it. Last day on Earth. You have one drink, one film, and one meal. What are you having? It's so difficult. It is.
Drink, film, and meal. Last day.
I can give you my current one whilst you're thinking if you want.
Yeah, give me some things to work with. Yeah, go ahead.
So my go-to food is always a pizza, like any sort of spicy meat sort of pizza. Love. A film is the most difficult one in my opinion. I think. Like, do I go for Spider-Man 2, which is my favorite film of all time? Do I go for like
Sam Raimi's one, right?
Yeah. I love. I don't know if I have quick access to it. I don't think I do, but I have a signed thing from Tobey Maguire and Alfred Molina from Spider-Man 2. It's my prized possession. But I think I probably would have to go Spider-Man 2. It's my favorite film of all time. The Batman is close, maybe because it's maybe a bit it's obviously newer.
I was with a
Um,
new, I still haven't
yeah.
seen that
Have
as
you
well.
not?
I need to, yeah.
Oh,
It was on my list of things to watch in the cinema, and just it's always difficult to find time for the
yeah.
cinema.
I went to a
Working with
midnight
much
showing
to
of
do.
it, and it was
Oh,
incredible. It was so good. I think it's better than The Dark Knight.
wow.
Yeah,
That's a
very hot take right there, but
that's a thing right there. That's a statement and a half.
not to like get you like overly excited for it, but I absolutely adore that film.
Yeah, I do need to check it out
Do
desperately.
and a drink wise, it's difficult. Like, do I be proper like British and just go for pint of lager or something? Like, if it's your last day on earth, you would just wanna probably go like Budweiser probably at the moment. Like,
Okay, I mean that's I can see those choices. But I think with my food,
hmm,
I've got again. It like you said. Um, I think you mentioned this before. It does change.
all
I
the
think
time, yeah.
at the moment though, I've got to go something that's going to be as much as I love to eat pizza, or as much as I
Mm,
love to eat the big roast dinners, for example.
yeah.
Afterwards, there's always the aftermath of just feeling like you're going to go into a food coma and you just
Yeah.
get such a big belly, and it's like, oh god, I don't want to move. Why do I eat so much? So I think meal wise, I've got to go for a classic like uh, a pomodoro, pasta pomodoro, something
I
like
have
that.
no idea what that is. I'm gonna
Well,
search it up.
it's just a basic Italian dish, really.
What was it? Pasta Pomodorum?
Pomodoro, I think. I think it's what it is
Pomodoro.
anyway.
I'm searching this up now.
It's
Oh,
just a
okay.
tomato
Yeah,
sauce.
it's
It's the most
just pasta.
basic thing
Yeah,
ever.
okay. Yeah,
Um,
that's bank. Are you having cheese on it?
maybe a bit of parmesan, maybe.
Can't go wrong with some parmesan.
But I tell you, it's a stretch between that and a vegan royale from Burger King.
I've
Burger
never
King,
had that.
so good.
I don't
I
have
mean,
I don't have a Burger King within walking distance of me, so I'd never.
drive there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that's for the meal, drink. I've got to think that I'm not much of a drinker.
Yeah.
Like
I,
alcohol,
I'm
really.
I, I'm really going off it. Like I used to do it a lot, but I'm really
Mm,
going off it.
I think I do like my kind of like fruity drinks or
Hmm.
maybe a carbonated thing. So I had an M&S elderflower sparkling drink the
Okay.
other day, chilled, but it was after a hot day after work, and it just hit the right spot.
Yeah.
But that's coming to my mind right now. You never know; it might change to some milk if I put on
Yeah.
this rest again.
Right.
Um,
You've mentioned milk.
oh yeah.
Red, blue, or green.
Oh Jesus. It depends on it. I would say blue,
Okay.
but or maybe gold actually.
Gold.
Gold, gold cream milk, Creamfield's milk. Yeah, like very creamy milk.
I have never seen.
Go to
I work in a shop.
Tesco, go to any Tesco and like just. I'm pretty sure I'll find it at Tesco at least anyway. It's a gold top milk and it's got a very high
Gold.
cream content. Yeah, it's
Oh
very
my
rich
god.
to try and gain weight for going to the gym or something at least.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, but yeah, if I wear that with Homelander, maybe I'll just go to Tesco's Homeland and just go down the milk aisle. That
Yeah,
could be
that
my
would be
TikTok. Yeah.
that would be a great TikTok.
What do I want?
Yeah. Just walk
Um,
past the milk, you're like,
I think for a film though, that's very. Oh, again, that's very
the
difficult.
film is
Um,
the most difficult.
I
I'd even argue Top Gun Maverick recently as well. I love that film.
still haven't seen that as well. I, I need to see all these new films, and I just haven't. I'm,
So good.
I'm gonna be. I really want to watch that Prey film on
I've
Disney
heard really good things about that.
because I'm quite a big Predator fan as well. Got to be from that Arnold Schwarzenegger classic one.
Yeah.
But no, I think the film I got to have that I can guarantee if it's on, I'll watch it. Doesn't matter when it is, what it is, or what part it's in either. I got to go for Hot Fuzz.
Oh,
Can't
yes.
really go wrong with a Hot Fuzz.
Yes. Oh, I could quote that film all day. Oh, that is a
It's
staple
one
of.
of the number one things that me and some of my online gaming friends we'll chat to or something. We'll just make quotes from that or
Yeah.
something. Like catching that killers then.
Yeah, not much
One
like
killer,
catching
actually.
them swans. It's just the one swan, actually.
One, that was it as well, yeah.
Yeah, me and my friends will play like Rainbow Six or something, and it's like, when he's not peeking. I don't know if you've ever played Rainbow Six.
I've seen a few TikTok videos about it
Yeah,
where people do some crazy stuff on it.
like I'm a little bit of a nerd on it, but if I'm like holding an angle, I'm just there, it's like, why is he not showing his face? And then my friend's just like, because he's fuck ugly. Like, just quoting Hot Fuzz. It's just, it's a staple, isn't it, of British culture? I think that.
Johnny Jackie's sister's brother's boy.
Everybody and their mums are packing round here. Like who? Farmers. And who else? Farmers' mums.
Farmer's mum.
It's so good.
No,
It's
I'd
filmed
have
in
to
my
choose
area.
that one then. Yeah, a Simon Pegg and Nick Frost film. It used to be Shaun of the Dead, but then Hot Fuzz just
exactly the same with me.
It has that the cinematography on it.
I think it has a bit more rewatchability as well.
Yeah. If it's on ITV2, you can guarantee. If you see it on ITV2, you can guarantee I'll probably be watching it at the exact same time you see it.
Whenever I see it on, I'm going to message you saying, "Are you watching Hot Fuzz right now?"
On it.
But it's
that shit.
You ever been in a high-speed pursuit? Yes. You ever fired your gun in a high-speed pursuit? Right. I could quote that film.
We could quote that thing. We could make a whole series and just quoting the film. Yeah.
We should do one where we try and sneak in as many references as we can.
We'll do that at Comic-Con as a sneak attack TikTok.
Yeah.
And the other one, we run up to him and just be like, like catching them swans then.
one day we should get policeman officer outfits. One with Sergeant Angel.
It's funny you say that because there is in the air a Hot Fuzz group.
Oh, is there?
I'm trying to be part of, and I really want to be Simon Skinner.
Oh my god!
Have the mustache, the
yeah,
like that's the way the cookie crumbles.
What is it? The greater good. You touched my heart with that. I know I said that would be the last question. I need to ask this one more because you mentioned it. Rank the Cornetto trilogy.
Rank the what, sir?
The Cornetto trilogy, like World's End, Shaun of the Dead.
All right. You got your Hot Fuzz. That's just peak. And then you got Shaun of the Dead, and then World's End. I think is at the bottom. Yeah. I do like World's End, but it's not as.
It's filmed really close to me.
Oh really?
Yeah, like it's filmed very, very close to me.
Have you ever done the Mile? Was it the Green Mile? No,
the Golden Mile.
Golden Mile. That's it. Yeah.
I think 3 or 4 of the pubs are in my area. So I've had drinks in the pubs they have drinks in.
Do they acknowledge their existence in the film?
Yeah, one of them has has pictures and like the sign they use because they obviously had to rename it for the film. It has the sign of it in there as well.
Oh really?
It's very, very cool. But as we were quoting it, my favorite quote from World's End is where he's like, "Get in your rocket and fuck off back to Legoland, you can." I love it.
Oh, fuck off, you big lamp.
Yeah. Whenever like we die, whenever me and my mates die, it's always that comes out. Oh, fuck off, you big lamp. Like it's just brilliant. But I don't want to take too much time out of your day. I do appreciate you talking to me.
More than fun. I mean, I can talk about cosplay forever.
Yeah,
especially about Hot Fuzz as well.
Well, we'll definitely do another one then because I've enjoyed this. I have enjoyed this quite a lot. We'll do one.
Really good.
We'll have to do one off of cosplay and more on movies if we're just going to quote stuff for an hour.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever do like a films discussion or something, then yeah,
I will for sure. I will 110%. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. I'm not going to hold you to that gym session. We will have a gym session one day, and yeah,
I can guarantee you'll hate it.
Probably.
I'll put you through all the compounds and all the classic movements. And
so you're just talking gibberish to me right now. But no, I want to say thank you if you've watched this far. Do you want to shout out your Instagram again? I know you've done it at the start, but just in case people forgot.
JustPhilB.
Yeah, go drop him a follow. He will be on TikTok soon. I'll make sure of it. But thank you for joining me, and we'll see you in the next one if it's with another guest. So, peace.